In the quiet heart of Makanda village, where red clay met the golden morning sun, there lived a young woman named Amani. She was beautiful, like a calm river under moonlight. Her husband, Tund, was a humble carpenter, and together they had a cheerful little boy named Cato. Their home was small but filled with laughter. Tund worked with his hands, shaping wood and dreams. But Amani, her heart was restless. She longed for comfort, for fine clothes, for a life without struggle. "Tund, I'm tired of this life," she said one evening, watching her husband wipe sweat from his brow. "My love," he replied with a gentle smile, "the palm tree does not bear fruit in a day. Patience will bless us in time." But patience did not soothe her. Every time she went to fetch water, she saw women adorned in gold and silk, laughing proudly as they spoke of their rich husbands in the city. Envy began to whisper to her heart like a jealous spirit. When the annual festival came, drums shook the ground and laughter filled the air. Everyone danced under the moonlight. Amani danced too, but her eyes followed those wearing gold beads. "If only I had that life," she whispered. An old woman beside her smiled and said, "Be content, my child. Even the snail reaches its destination with time." But Amani's heart had already wandered far beyond Makanda. One market day, as the sun bent low, a man arrived in the village. He was tall, dressed in shining clothes, his wrists heavy with gold. He called himself Mr. Kenga, a businessman from the city. His voice was smooth like palm wine, and his smile bright as morning dew. "Good afternoon, beautiful one," he said boldly. "Do you sell palm oil or hearts? Because it seems you've stolen mine." Amani laughed shyly. "You must be joking, sir." "No joke," he smiled. "I could give you the world if you'd stand beside me." And that was how the seed of temptation took root. His words wrapped around her heart like silk. For the first time, she believed wealth was just one choice away. That night, she could not sleep. She watched Tund's calm face as he snored softly beside their son. Her heart ached, but desire spoke louder than love. "I love them," she whispered to herself, "but love cannot fill an empty stomach." Before dawn, she packed her wrapper, tied her scarf, and left a note that read, "Forgive me, Tund. I have gone to find a better life. When I return, we shall live like kings." And just like that, she vanished into the early morning mist. When she reached the city, her eyes widened at the lights and noise. Kenga took her to a fine house and treated her like a queen. She wore new clothes, ate food she had never tasted before, and admired herself in the mirror. "I was meant for this life," she said proudly. Kenga smiled nervously. "You deserve the best, my queen." But behind that smile hid a truth darker than night. Soon, the fine clothes lost their shine, and the money stopped flowing. Bills came due. The landlord shouted for rent. The house they lived in wasn't his. The car belonged to a friend. One evening, when she confronted him, his charm vanished. "You lied to me," she cried. "I said I was trying to be rich," he snapped. "Don't blame me for your greed." That night, rain poured like judgment from heaven. By morning, Kenga was gone, and Amani was alone. The woman who chased gold now held only dust in her hands. Days turned to weeks. She walked the crowded streets barefoot, her silk torn. She began selling pap and akara by the roadside just to survive. "Please, sister, take this for now," she begged one vendor. "I'll pay tomorrow." The woman hissed. Tomorrow again. City life is not a village of pity. Loneliness became her only companion. Nights were cold, days long, and her reflection no longer showed pride, only pain. Then one afternoon, while she served pap to strangers, she overheard two travelers talking nearby. "Have you heard about that carpenter from Makanda?" one said. "Ah, yes," the other replied. "Tund. He's now a rich man. Built a school and married again. His wife helps the poor. They say God blessed him greatly." Amani froze. Her heart shattered like calabash on stone. "He moved on," she whispered. Tears filled her eyes. For the first time, she wished not for riches, but for forgiveness. Days later, she packed her few belongings and began walking home. The road was long. Her feet bled. Her clothes hung loose. But she walked on, step after painful step. "If he will not take me back," she whispered, "let me at least see him once more." At last, she reached Makanda. The village had changed. new huts, bright colors, laughter everywhere. She saw a beautiful house at the center. Children played outside. One of them was Cato, taller now, smiling beside a gentle woman. And there was Tund, his face calm, his clothes clean, his eyes full of peace. Amani fell to her knees, tears running down her cheeks. "Tund," she said softly, "I don't ask for anything. I only ask for your forgiveness." Tund looked at her for a long moment. Then he said quietly, "Amani, the wound you left took time to heal. But I forgave you long before you returned." His new wife, Nia, stepped forward and said kindly, "Come, sister. Eat with us. No heart should remain hungry forever." Amani bowed her head and wept, not from shame alone, but from grace. She stayed in the village, not as wife or stranger, but as one who had learned. She taught young girls never to trade love for glitter, nor abandon faith for fantasy. Her life became a living lesson, and whenever people asked her why she smiled despite all she had lost, she would say softly, "True wealth is not found in gold, but in peace, and in hearts that never leave you when storms come." And so it was that the woman who left for gold found only dust, but in that dust, she found herself again. My friend, if you have listened to this tale, remember, what glitters is not always gold, and what seems small may be the seed of greatness. If you enjoyed the story, subscribe and join us again for more African folktales that touch the heart and teach the soul.